Yes, guys, in this video, we're going to be going through client communication and the art of managing people's expectations so well that your retention rate is going to be crazy high. So communication in the marketing world is absolutely massive because we need to understand why clients ever leave marketing agencies is primarily down to one of these two reasons. The first reason is performance. You're not getting clients the amount of sales that they want. As you can imagine, because a lot of this is just providing clients with the leads and helping them with the sales process, but ultimately it's up to them whether they convert the client or not, down to their own sales ability. You get the blame for that a lot. So if you have to lose clients for performance reasons, we don't want to lose them, but sometimes you hold your hands up and you say there's nothing you can do about it. The second reason is poor communication. Now, this one is 100% always your fault. And to me, you should never be losing clients over communication, because even if you're just a one-man band, a solo entrepreneur like we are at the beginning of this journey, elite communication is possible, but you're going to need the correct frameworks. Our mindset on how we need to approach communication needs to be communication is a form of respect. Slow replies and not replying to someone in, a whole day or even a good solid few hours when they know you've seen your phone. You're signaling to your clients that they're not a priority, they're not top of their to-do list, and their things that they want done or their check-ins aren't important. And that is a quick way to make someone not like you and feel like you don't have their best intentions at heart. There's one thing that's going to improve your conversion rate outside of any of the systems and the tangible things that we're doing, is your clients need to like you. Because if they like you and they feel like you've got their best interests at heart and you're actually trying, you're going to have good and bad months through this journey that you're taking any client on. It's inevitable, it happens with everyone. When those bad months do come, because they've got that trust of, okay, this guy is trying, this guy's keeping his integrity, he's getting back to me faster, keeping me in the loop, they will ride it out with you a lot of the time. But if they don't like you, trust me, they're gonna cut you the second the moment gets hard, because they get a bad gut feeling. If they don't feel cared for, they're gonna leave. And sometimes, even if you're getting them good results and they don't like you personally, why would they want to give you money? Good communication to me is simple communication. If you've watched any, additional resources or done your homework on how these big corporate companies do all of their communicating, right? A lot of them use channels like Slack, which are pretty much these private apps where, you get a client to download an app and you've got a separate app where you do all of your client communication. People don't like it. Trust me, I started using this at the beginning. They absolutely don't like it. Clients prefer WhatsApp because it's fast, it's familiar to them, and it's crazy easy to use. And this will be important if you've got a niche which, doing something where with people where they're not too technologically advanced, right? They just need something straightforward that 3/4 or more of these people are already going to be using WhatsApp. So what I recommend is you need to create a private WhatsApp group for all your clients. You don't reply to any private messages. All of the messages are held solely in that WhatsApp group chat, because you're going to need to keep a log about what's going on. And if you can do that, you're going to have a load of group chats which keeps communication super quick, professional, allows all the people, all the key decision makers, because it's probably not going to be one person that you work with a lot of the time. They're going to need to add their partners and everything. Email becomes a bit messy and it's slow. It's going to keep everything centralized and it's easy to align everybody on what's going on with the marketing. So this should go completely without saying, but if you are going to be using WhatsApp for business purposes, it's important that your account is looking professional and you've got a few optimizations in there. So just a few quick ones. Make sure that you got a professional profile picture. Don't have a picture of you and your mates in the pub or whatever. Me, I just use like a pretty standard Canva template. You don't even need Windows Fancy. I'll just put like a gradient and then I'll put a headshot of me. I'll crop out and stick me on the blue background. I think just any form of professional profile picture here is good. Have your name as your first name and then your company, because, a lot of the time you'll be messaging these people. They won't have your number saved. They're going to say, who's this guy? That's just going to re-jog their memory. In your personal bio on WhatsApp, not the group chat one, I would just mention that this account does not reply to private messages. Please only message within the marketing group chat. Thank you. It's just going to manage people's expectations, because that guy does message you and you haven't told him that before. He's going to think you're rude and ignoring him. We'll come on to managing people's expectations in a second. When you do create these group chats, I think it's a good idea to call them marketing hyphen the client name. If you have everybody's centralized, if you do want to bulk message all your clients, you can just type in marketing, and then all of your clients have got a club. This is the system that I use. And then in the description of that client group chat, Just say for urgent inquiries, please book directly into my calendar below, and then put a link for your calendar link. That's just going to mean anything super important, or if the client does need to speak to you immediately, they're not going to be blowing you up on WhatsApp, not going to be randomly calling you. You've set the tone and you told them to book directly into your calendar. In terms of the rules that I think you should have for this marketing group chat, these are just a couple of the main ones. No private messages, as I just said. Yeah, you need to have all your communication centralized. Like I said, a lot of the time you'll be working with multiple people. Multiple people need to know what's going on. You start private messaging everyone. That is a quick way for things to get muddled up, even if it's by email, and it becomes a problem. You need also like a chain. You can go back on and say, no, I did say that here, if you ever do have any problems. Every day, I would highly recommend that you allocate 1 hour of that day. You completely block it out in your calendar. And that's for emergency meetings with clients. Now, a lot of the time, you're not going to have these, but especially at the beginning, when people are nervous about starting this journey with you and they want to know where the money's going and you haven't got that many results yet, people are going to have questions. Allocate 4 15-minute slots for that day. You keep that time reserved solely and exclusively for your existing clients, because you got to let people know that you've always got time for them if they need it. And, you just need to be prioritizing your existing clients. Always serve these current clients instead of your new ones. A lot of you, and the mindset I was, is I didn't want to have this emergency slot available every day because I wanted to use that to take sales calls so I can sign new clients, make new cash. Your profit comes from retention. You never, ever, ever, ever take random calls. I don't care if you're completely free. It's an extremely unprofessional way of working. You're letting your clients know that if they want to speak to you, they need to book it in with a group chat. You've got time to speak to them every single day. It's extremely unlikely they're going to have a problem that needs solving this second. Maybe they did, get them to put a message in the group chat, because you're going to let them know that that's the fastest way of getting hold of you. Emergency calls are to be booked properly in, and no voice notes. If you guys start getting busy, and I'm talking about not even crazy busy, you're getting above 5 clients, yeah, you can't be sending voice notes. Half of these voice notes are people saying, "Oh, hey, are you going to?" It's a load of gibberish. Like, get that message on text and you can scan it. You can probably get a gist of what it is and reply better. So it just keeps communication much more efficient and scalable. In terms of the weekly meetings that you're going to have with your clients, I found one of the things which really helped my retention is getting that weekly performance review of everyone. Every 7 days is a good amount of time to check in with people. Most marketing agencies are doing like 2 weeks or every month. It just doesn't feel feel cared about. You're trying to give the sense that they've got their own marketing team in-house. That's the type of level and care that people like. So why not do it every single week? I know a lot of you will feel guilty, like I said a minute ago, you're going to be using this time to speak to your existing clients. You can't take on new people, and it can feel like you're not growing. These people are responsible primarily for your profit. If you can retain clients, there's no cost per acquisition. It's profit, profit, profit. So this is something that we always prioritize. So I recommend that you host these weekly catch-up meetings every single Friday. The reason I pick Friday is a lot of the time, most of the leads will come in over the weekend. So you'll be speaking with these fresh leads, these new leads that you're ready to be nurtured on Monday, Tuesday. You've got the whole week to nurture them. Typically at the end of the week, like Fridays, people are kind of checked out, ready for the weekend. So like if you take a new call with someone on a Friday and try and do that follow-up with him on a Monday, he's probably forgot what it is that you even do. So he's been out with his mates or whatever. So doing your calls on a Friday, Friday is typically the day that's used for closing up deals, for the leads that you've nurtured early on in the week, and so you'll have more space to take the calls. So Friday is the best day. On a Wednesday, this is what I do. I reach out to all of the clients in our WhatsApp group chats, just copy and paste a message saying, "Hey, we're gonna have our weekly meeting this Friday. Please book in here," and I just make them aware that it's first come, first served. Don't get in the habit of booking people in meetings. Yes, that is a better way of doing it, and you can maybe do that if you haven't got many clients, but most people are gonna want 10 a.m. on Friday, 12 p.m. on Friday. So it just keeps it fair. It's on a first come, first served basis. Your meetings, they can be a maximum of 20 minutes. Like, you're not giving more value, making the meeting longer. Your client doesn't care about, "Oh, hey, how's your day been?" They know you don't really care. They don't really care about yours. It just keeps the meeting really efficient. You can get through everything that you've got done here if you proper plan it out and you're getting straight to the point, which is the way to deal with these high-end business owners. If the client is over 5 minutes late, you should absolutely cancel the meeting because you're busy. You're not directly working for them. You've got a busy schedule as well, and this is a partnership, so they need to respect your time as well. And the purpose of these meetings is to proactively solve problems. If you can be someone that solves problems proactively before they happen, that is going to put you in a really favored position. If you don't want to be so much reactive, problem happens, you solve the problem. The way that you communicate with these top guys is you solve the problems before they even exist. Clear expectations is the key to client satisfaction. Clients will accept slower progress if deadlines are defined and met. In a nutshell, people are happy not getting the results that they want as long as you keep them in the loop and they feel like you're trying your best and you're sticking to all of your promises in terms of your deadlines. You absolutely need to avoid vague terminology like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you later on, or I'll get it done by this week. That's the number one way to frustrate good business people, because everything needs to run off tight deadlines. Where is it being done? Okay, it's being done here, and that's the expectation that you set and you execute. From the get-go, in order to manage your expectations properly, you need to tell them how are you going to communicate and make it clear that it's primarily through this group chat and email only. You need to tell them your work hours. Are you going to be getting back to them on weekends or not? Because, for some people it will be a given. But if you don't tell people, like, you shouldn't expect that they know this stuff. And you need to make them aware about the ticketing system. As we mentioned in our Trello setup video, when an item is added to the ticket list, it's going to be completed within 2 days. So just letting people know this from the get-go is a great way to keep everybody happy. I'll show you how to do that now. So once we set this WhatsApp group chat up, the second the client has paid the invoice and signed the retainer agreement, this should be one of your first messages. This is going to make sure that your clients know how we're operating going forward, how we do things as a business. Now, you should be telling them this on the call, but give it them in writing. So if they ever complain saying, oh, you're ignoring all my messages, oh, you haven't been answering my phone calls, oh, this ticket hasn't been done today, you just refer back to this message. And it's a complete get out of jail card. And because they know this from the get-go, they're fine with it. And to be fair, this is a great way of communicating. This message just summarizes everything I've just told you. All communication is going to be kept on the group chat. If you try to message me or call me randomly, I'm not going to be picking it up. If you need to speak to me desperately, I've got an hour dedicated every day, which I've got 4 15-minute slots for any emergency meetings with the clients. Any requests or changes to your account, they're going to get done within 48 hours of them being ticketed. You don't need to chase me saying, are they done or are you doing it? I'm always going to tell you once I've done it. My work hours are Monday to Friday. If you message me over the weekend, you can. Sometimes maybe I'll reply, but more often than not, the response you should expect is going to come back on Monday. Setting these boundaries is just really going to help keep everything efficient and ensures that you can deliver the correct level of work for your clients, and they will seriously rate you for letting them know that from the get-go instead of promises that you can't do. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Take this message, completely copy it, put in the client's name, and watch your retention rate improve.